Next question is from Leslie Fisher. I recently noticed a huge imbalance in my right and left side. It's causing a lot of strain on my training. How do I fix this?
Well, we just talked about
yeah, I didn't see that question.
So
Refer to above question.
So if you don't have map symmetry, this is what you do, right? So you do what's called unilateral training, which is one arm or one leg at a time. So rather than using a barbell, use dumbbells, and start with the weaker side and allow that weaker side to dictate the weight and the reps for the stronger side, which means initially your weaker side is going to get a workout and the stronger side isn't going to feel like it's getting much of a workout. But really, this is the best simple way to correct
There's
this.
a major key to that point you just made, though, like that I think where I see the most mistakes made, and that is the understanding of like how I would describe failure versus what the average person or the average client would interpret failure. So if you're trying to balance out the left or the right, and let's say you're doing what Sal said, you're curling with the weaker side first, and you can get 8 reps, but reps 6, 7, and 8, you are rolling the shoulder forward or tilting over. We're not doing ourselves any favors by still training that way.
No.
So the key is not only do you start with the weaker side, but the moment you have to cheat the rep or your form deviates at all from perfect, you're done. Mm-hmm. So even though you could have got 8 curls by leaning over a little bit or swinging the arm a little bit or rocking the shoulder in or the elbow, that you got to stop it before that. And so you want to mirror the dominant side with 6 perfect reps. And that's tough because if you have a major discrepancy, people are going to be like, well, this is weird because it's at 6, but I could do like 12 or 15 on my other side, no problem. Okay. Mm-hmm. And you have to be okay with that. It will catch up and it will balance out, but you have to discipline yourself to cutting the weaker side off at the moment of breakdown in form.
Now kind of add on top of that. So that's, kind of addressing the actual training of it. But if it's a really huge imbalance and it's something like it being even in a split stance, like you just can't really even maintain balance for that. Like we need to really slow it down and focus on just the position of that and isometrically connect to that and create tension around that position so you feel comfortable and supported first, and then we'll start loading and go through that process depending on severity of it. And that's kind of why we're addressing that in the beginning of symmetry, is to kind of really take that head on first and put you in those kind of uncomfortable positions you probably don't find yourself in very often. The other point is basically, so it's going to take a while. Like think about like how you built and developed this imbalance. Like it probably was years in the making. And so I think a lot of people want to jump out and go back to biloaded training again. And just kind of get back to the swing of things. Yep. When in fact, if you're really trying to do yourself a service, you got to understand this is going to take probably longer than you anticipate.
I would say at least 3 months. It takes at least 90 days. That's how long it took me.
Oh, at least if not longer.
But at least
depending on the severity.
At least it would take about 90 days. So train that way for a while. It's not one workout or a week. You got to do it for.
I want to address the 2 camps in this because I actually came across a couple posts just the other day since we're bringing this up, and I've been meaning to bring it up anyways. So there's 2 extreme camps in this, and of course, per usual, we fall somewhere in the middle, I would say. That are really annoying to me. You have camp 1, the trainers that use this information and knowledge as a scare tactic to sell stuff to clients, right? Like, oh my God, you are so broken and fucked up. Like it's dangerous for you to be squatting and doing like that. Trainer, we need this, and you got to be very careful about what you're doing because you have a major discrepancy left or right, and they use it as a scare tactic.
Selling point. It's a way to sell. Wow.
So you have that side, and then you have the other side, which is the counter right now, which is this camp of trainers that are just like, you're never going to be symmetrical. This whole idea of being perfectly symmetrical is ridiculous. We have we're all so unique, and that this idea of trying to make your left to your right perfect is a silly pursuit, and that these trainers are just using that to sell you, which is also stupid. So, and the truth lies somewhere in the middle of this. Understand that if you have a glaring discrepancy from left to right, there is a muscle imbalance there that can be addressed. Whether it will be perfect left to right, no, of course not. But getting it as close to perfect as you can, or working towards that, is a worthy pursuit. If you want to be healthy, if you want to make sure you don't have joint pain in the future, like trying to balance the body out is a very smart, good strategy. And so both these camps are idiots, and be careful of who you pay attention to that is selling either idea to you, because they're both in the camp of being extreme when the truth is somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. And you can make huge inroads into this. It's silly that people say you can't. I don't remember
massive benefits.
There was a famous boxer that ended up learning how to box ambidextrously because he broke his right hand, and ended up continue practicing, and started. He got even better because he was able to do the right technique with his left. So you can make huge strides in this, but the goal isn't to become ambidextrous. But if you can lift 10 more pounds with one side over the other, it's probably an issue. That's probably an issue, and you might want to balance that out a little bit.